Welcome back to the Realtor Review presented by Bailey's Moving and Storage. As always, I'm Jake. And this month we've got a special guest. I've got Morgan here with me. Morgan is our sales manager for the Colorado region for Bailey's Moving and Storage. And we're excited to talk to him about all things relative to what you might want to know as a realtor dealing with families moving. Or also he's got some great insights with commercial realtors for you commercial realtors out there. We'll talk about some of those topics. But before we get into it, just a reminder to go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you make sure you get all these updates because these come out monthly. And we try to keep you with all sorts of up-to-date information to help you keep your clients in the know. So with that, Morgan, welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Morgan, we're just going to start out with this. Say the biggest thing that I've been hearing from lots of people around the market is just moving, oh my gosh, is expensive. And I know you're hearing that too, but let's talk about that for a second. Why is moving so expensive right now?
One word, capacity. There's just not enough truck drivers in the market right now, not enough in the industry. That truck driver that you think of at the truck stop rolling down the road, they've all retired. When
COVID that's
hit.
Smoking the Bandit.
Yeah,
okay.
They're gone. So there's just not enough new truck drivers coming into the industry right now. So capacity is at an all-time low. And you can see that. You go into American Furniture Warehouse, you go into Costco. They don't have furniture. They don't have goods. It's because no one's driving them right now. They're sitting in all the ports all across the U.S. and there's just no goods moving. So capacity is the biggest issue for that price right now. It's supply and demand.
You know, that makes sense because I know I felt that personally. I've ordered some things from these warehouse stores, Costco or whatnot, and they project weeks in order to get things to me. So maybe this is the same thing here.
Yeah, it's pretty similar.
Okay. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So if I'm a realtor and I'm talking to my client who's potentially thinking of moving, obviously because I'm helping them, what kind of things am I going to be pointing to them to say, hey, it's going to be expensive, but here's what you can do to prepare?
Yeah, for sure. You definitely want to be prepared, organized, and start early. You want to get that move date locked in with whatever movie company you're going to decide to use, hopefully Bailey's. But you want to get that in as early as possible to keep that price down and just be as prepared as possible for that move and be flexible. That's a big one.
Be early, be flexible.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And hopefully people realize that with the supply chain crisis they've been feeling out for a while, hopefully they know that they can be flexible. But I think that's good advice, helping them prep for that. So let's talk about some of these things. Like moving is definitely expensive. But are there locations in particular that are kind of driving a lot of demand? Is there places that a lot of people seem to be moving to that people should be aware of?
Yeah, definitely. We definitely see a lot moving to that southeast region, kind of Texas down through Florida, that area. There's a large influx of people moving to that area. So that's probably a reason for a spike in the cost. Is the more people moving to that area, more truck drivers are in that area, less than others.
And that makes sense. Maybe hard to get them back out too.
It's hard to get them back out because people are not moving the other way.
Oh, that's a crazy world that we're living in. But that's probably got to be just from a cost standpoint, right? I mean, what's driving the people to move to some of those areas?
You know, cost of living's cheaper down in the South. I mean, you can look at homes in Denver compared to homes in the Panhandle of Florida, and you're definitely going to see a cost of living difference. And price of those homes, it's just less at this point. They have seen an increase in both Texas and Florida in cost of homes from some realtors that I've talked to down there. So hopefully that does level out as their cost goes up. But for the foreseeable future, it's cost of living, and people are going to keep moving down there until it catches up to some other areas of the country.
Okay, that makes sense. So advice for realtors to give to clients: be flexible, be early in getting your move booked, and just be aware that even if you don't use a moving company, it's probably going to be expensive. Is that right?
Oh, for sure. Even if you rent a U-Haul truck. Shoot, I know when my brother-in-law moved from California to Texas, they couldn't even get a U-Haul truck. So when the opportunity became available to have one, it was like triple the cost. So it's really expensive and hard to get them.
Oh, well, definitely a weird world that we're in right now and weird conditions. But, you know, that's a lot of our families that are moving. I know you've got a lot of experience working with our commercial sector too.
I do.
So let's talk about that for a second, because I think that might be interesting for you commercial realtors out there. So the first thing is kind of what are we seeing? What's the state of the market and moving and how that's working right now for commercial?
Man, the general office moving, it's just gone. There is no company moving from one office to another. It's very minimal. And part of that, I think, is because of the work from home force. When COVID hit, everybody decided we're going to work from home, and that really hasn't changed. So everybody's pushed away, and these large companies are shutting down their offices. So with that, we don't need to move anything. We're just taking it back to the warehouse and storing it. And hopefully one day it comes back and they open their offices up again, but I don't have a time frame for that. I don't know if anybody does.
Yeah, that's such a challenging situation. One thing I've heard of, and I was curious to see your insight on this if you've seen any of this, is I have heard of some companies trying to figure out this hybrid workforce environment and saying, okay, well, we can't keep 100 desks for 100 employees because they're not going to be here every day. How can we engineer this space to be more applicable? And I imagine that in that kind of a scenario, you might need some movers to help you get something like that. First off, are you seeing that too? And if so, how do movers help out with that?
We are. So one of the things we're seeing is the hybrid workforce. So high priority employees need to work in the office certain days a week. So what they're doing is, as they're shutting down their offices, they might go from, for example, Liberty Mutual, we just did this for them. They went from 4 floors to 1 floor, but they have to rent out their cubicle or office space and plan it out for the week. So for them, they went from, I think they had about 300 employees to now they have 100 employees working hybrid in the office, and IT works Monday, Wednesday, and they rent out their cubicle.
So that kind of that we work, but it's their company.
Correct.
That's kind of a cool idea. So it feels like if you're looking for that, the movers can help you kind of get your furniture or maybe organized and reset up correctly. Or, I mean, are we doing?
We are. So we can do some reorganization of the furniture, specifically cubicles and modular furniture. We can set it up and do floor plans for you however you want to do that.
Okay. So if I'm a commercial realtor, I'm probably going to be talking to, as I pass the baton off, maybe some property managers or maybe even the clients or tenants that are going into these buildings. If I were going to be a good resource for them to help them get some of these things done, what might I tell them as they have moving needs?
Oof, it's a tough one. Mostly because specifically in the commercial world, the people who are doing or facilitating the commercial move, your office managers, your executive assistants, they've never done an office move. I mean, most offices are moving once every 5 to 7 years. So if you're not there for long tenure, you've never seen it. So they don't even know what they need. So if you're able to refer them to let us come in and help plan out the move, walk them through it from A to Z and help them with that, we've noticed that most of these people are much more confident in the move, and it works out much more streamlined.
Okay. So kind of being that consultant arm to help them kind of understand, is that what I'm...
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, that's really awesome. And I know that we do more than just that. What other kinds of commercial-oriented things have we been able to help customers out that maybe just need other supply chain related things?
It's kind of almost anything. If it involves trucks, manpower, labor, that kind of stuff, I want to see if I can help. I mean, we had a company who came in, we were referred to them, and they didn't even know how to move a piece of equipment. They didn't know how they were going to get it out of the warehouse to the new one, and we were actually able to come in, walk them through a step-by-step plan to get it out of that warehouse, onto a flatbed truck, move safely and into the new warehouse. And we used 3 different crews and a contractor to help us get to where we needed to be.
Wow. Pretty complex.
It's very complex.
All right. So that could be maybe something that commercial realtors, if you know the resources, it feels like realtors are particularly good at knowing kind of where to point.
Yep.
That seems like a good thing to be able to help them know to do. Make sure if you've got clients or property managers that don't know where to go, somebody who can help organize their trucks, their people, and their supply chain generally could maybe help solve some of the woes in today's environment.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Morgan, anything else that you think realtors in particular might want to know to help make sure they are getting the best bang for their buck or the best information forward to their clients?
You know, I think you covered a lot of it. I just tell a lot of the realtors that we work with, if you have questions, concerns, or needs, or you don't know where to turn, just call us. We're always in the office. There's always a salesman around to talk and help. And we just like to be there as that service, that consultant. So
awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Again, if you haven't liked and subscribed to our channel, please do. youtube.com/Bailey'sMoving. Hit that bell so you get the notifications every time we post a new video. We've got a lot of great resources coming for you. And we look forward to seeing you again next month to keep you in the know.